Hello and greetings from Eastern Europe. My name is CallbearHD and this is a list about Norse-themed games. Many of them are proud to have Vikings or their mythology. Enjoy! Jotun. This is a hand-drawn action exploration game set in Norse mythology. Here you play as Thora, a Viking warrior who died an inglorious death and must prove herself to gods to enter Valhalla. Aside from the boss battles, the game revolves around exploration and puzzle solving with few enemies to fight. It isn't very surprising that puzzles often are solved by using axe swings to interact with objects, because Vikings, like Hulk,
they smash.
Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Set in the Viking Age, a broken Celtic warrior embarks on a haunting vision quest into Viking hell to fight for the soul of her dead lover. Created in collaboration with newer scientists and people who experience psychosis, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice will pull you deep into Senua's mind. The main protagonist can see things nobody else can, just like your Aunt Olga when she drinks way too much vodka. Expeditions Viking. Game description says, a small band of Norse warriors lands on the shores of England. History may have forgotten their names, but their actions live on. Well, I should say that the actions Vikings made in real-life England involved a lot of pillaging and even more raping, but who am I to judge? As the chieftain of your clan, you let ambition guide your choices in this party-based RPG. Game has very positive reviews on Steam, but there are also many comments saying that the game is boring and slow, just like your cousin Artyom. So be careful, read everything before buying. Skyrim. Probably the best and definitely the most famous game based on Norse theme. Longhouses, jarls, snow, traditions, many words, names and architecture here are just ripped out of ancient Scandinavia. I bet you have played Skyrim already and can remember the best parties Jarl Balgruuf has thrown. No? You can't? You know, we have a saying in Eastern Europe, the best parties are those that you can't even remember next morning.
Oh, Jarl Balgruuf, I miss you.
The Banner Saga series. There are 4 games in the series, well, basically 3 because multiplayer version The Banner Saga Factions is pretty much dead, nobody plays it anymore. This is a role-playing Viking game where your strategic choices directly affect your personal journey. Battles in the game are staged similarly to Heroes of Might and Magic games. Everything else feels more like a comic or a book, so apart of tactical turn-based combats, you'll have to read a lot. Game is not for everyone, but if you can read your favorites vodka's label, you can probably read this game either. And now it's the time for you to press that like button. Usually when I drink Scandinavian vodka, I think about boobs. But if you press like now, next time I will think about you, my friend. Thanks. You're the best. Northgard. This is a strategy game based on Norse mythology in which you control a clan of Vikings vying for the control of mysterious newfound continent. Northgard has nice campaign, great solo game and plenty of replay value. The story mode spans 11 missions, but on normal difficulty it is too easy.
Just like your daughter.
So make your game harder, play like a real Viking.
Volgarr The Viking.
Game looks old, but it actually isn't. It's like your uncle Bronislav, who smokes a lot of contraband cigarettes from Belarus. Actually, this game is kinda new, but it has all the best old schoolish traits you can imagine. This arcade platformer has 7 worlds to explore, more than 30 maps, 40 unique traps and enemies, thousands of frames and handcrafted animations, and full controller support. Also, very positive reviews on Steam, so if you want some Norse platformer action, this can be your choice. Vikings, Wolves of Midgard. You know a game named Diablo 3? Yeah, of course you know. So, unexpectedly, this is not Diablo 3 I'm showing you now. This is Vikings, Wolves of Midgard. Even if it looks exactly like Diablo, it is still a very nice game for you to try. If you like some hacking and slashing action, just be aware of the lame saving system, which is based on checkpoints. If you die before one, all progression is lost, and also here you can't respec your stats. So if you made a mistake, that's it. Everything else is pretty much cool. I think it's a decent game. Rune. This is an old school game, but still really cool if you like old school gaming. A lot of people are mentioning that the main character's butt is made really carefully. All the designer's attention was concentrated on the buttocks, because this is the time where all butts in gaming were square shaped, and this butt is round like an orange. That is very nice thing. I also tend to concentrate on the butts, of course of female characters, but still I can appreciate the work that has been done here. It's a masterpiece.
Majestic, extravagantic, wowza.
Apsulov, End of Gods. In this future Viking horror, you awaken a sanctuary of steel and concrete built to research and exploit the worlds of Yggdrasil and to house an artifact buried in the earth aeons ago. Your task is to unveil the secrets of the mythology, the artifacts and the realms of Yggdrasil. Game is pretty scary, but the funny thing is the name. Apsulov to me sounds like a Slavic surname.
Dmitry Alexeyevich Apsulov, engineer of Chernobyl power plant.
Game has very positive reviews on Steam, so I can only suggest for you to dive in this sci-fi Viking horror and have a great time. And now it's the time for some honorable mentions. The Lost Vikings, made by Blizzard in 1992. Loki, Heroes of Mythology, great RPG game made in 2007. For Honor, Vikings are one of 4 playable factions here. Age of Mythology, legendary strategy game where you can choose to play it for the Norse faction.
They simply fight to please their gods.
Ancestors, a solid RTS game released in 2018 where you can play for a Viking faction. Viking Battle for Asgard, a violent Viking hack-and-slash game with interesting large battles. God of War. The Norse gods are the main pantheon of deities in God of War released in 2018. And now I want to invite you to join my Instagram and especially Facebook page, where I share not only my own videos but also free original game offers from all over the internet. Also, don't just leave without pressing that like button, because deep down, but a bit higher than your testicles, you know that there is a love between you and me. Just do it, man. Do it. Thanks. Have a great day. See you in my next video. Soon. Very soon. Bye.